Undeniably, what we can all agree on is that the world feels different today than it did 5 years ago, doesn't it? I don't think that's just you. I think it's because the world has gotten faster. With social media, with ideas, they spread faster and faster than ever before. And what are ideas that you're consuming? They're nothing but people trying to influence you and brainwash you, tell you what to believe. Now, here's the secret I want to share with you. You have the power to brainwash yourself. You can program yourself with whatever you want. And if you don't brainwash yourself, the world is going to brainwash you. Let's look at a few facts together. You and I see between 6,000 and 10,000 advertisements, not every week, not every month, not every year, every single day. You go in and work a job. You know how many people are happy at their job, like a good influence on you? Just, oh man, I want to hang around them. 85% of people, when you survey them, dislike their job and are unhappy at work. You're gonna pick up good beliefs from unhappy people that don't like what they're doing? Your parents growing up, they taught you how to behave. Don't say this, don't go over there, oh, act this way. It's not all bad. I'm sure you got some great things from them, but nevertheless, they pass on their programming to you. All of this is happening on a subconscious level for you, meaning you're not aware of it. That's literally how brainwashing works. It's just repetition over and over and over again, and eventually it gets into the back of your mind and you don't even know it's there. The secret is you can program yourself. And I want to share with you in this video some ways I've done that, whether that's having a successful YouTube channel, successful coaching business. The world teaches you how to be realistic. This video, I hope, is to teach you how to be unrealistic. Let's start with something easy you can do. If you want to get the life you want, most people look at where they want to be, the success they want to have, and you're like, man, that is aspirational. Wow, I could get that. That's the pleasure side of the coin, but motivation has another half. It is the pain side. And I have found that this is immensely powerful. Instead of having a vision for your life, create an anti-vision. Tap into negative visualization. How do you want your life not to go? Pain gets a bad rap, but I think it's a very powerful motivator. In fact, if you even look at behaviorism, you're gonna work much harder to avoid pain than you will to gain pleasure. So if you want to brainwash yourself for success, maybe you should brainwash yourself with an anti-vision of what you want to avoid. Dude, that is not the life I want. I will do anything to escape that. And I'll give you a personal story here. A long time ago, I got hooked on vaping. I was so addicted, I was smoking the equivalent of like 2 packs of nicotine cartridges a day of cigarettes. And at the time, everyone's like, oh, this isn't as bad as smoking. You're in the clear. It's just vapor and pure nicotine. It's fine. In the back of my head, though, I was like, yeah, but this probably has some consequences we're not aware of. All these news stories started coming out about kids getting this wet lung, popcorn lung, where like the water vapor would clog up their lungs and they would get this kind of pneumonia. Young guys were ending up in the hospital. People were getting put on ventilators, getting permanently messed up. The inner hypochondriac in me saw those. I was like, dude, what's gonna happen if you don't change anything? You're smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day in vape form, dude. Maybe you can go a year, 2 years with this habit. But literally, what is going to happen if you do not change this? And I remember the lowest point was when I was coming back from a tour and I was so addicted to this thing. I snuck into an airport bathroom and I was hitting it in a bathroom stall. Right next to me, there was a dude taking a massive shit. It was so humiliating. And in that bathroom stall, I was like, dude, I am better than this. I do not want the wet lung. I do not like the identity this is setting for me. And as soon as I walked out on my way out of that airport, took my vape, threw it in the trash, and I have never vaped since. In that moment, I scared myself straight. I brainwashed myself for success in a habit form right there by having an anti-vision, a negative visualization of what's gonna happen if nothing changes. This is the opportunity for you to take it seriously and scare yourself straight. What's gonna happen in your life if nothing changes? That's where I would start first if I was brainwashing myself for success. But this next one is something practical, easy, and you can do it literally after this video. Real quick, if you're looking to apply everything we talk about in these videos to change your life, check out our coaching program, Metamorphic, where it's possible to reinvent yourself in under 10 weeks. We walk you step by step on how to do that by shifting your identity. It's a full 10-week program, unreleased content, one-on-one shadow work sessions, interactive live calls, and a full badass community of 850 people in your corner to help. So if you're ready for a change, check out the link in the bio and start your journey today. First, a little bit of how your brain works. In behaviorism, there is something called a negativity sway bias. The official definition of this is a cognitive bias that results in adverse events having a more significant impact on our psychological state than positive events. Bit of a word salad. My layman's understanding is that positivity weighs ounces, negativity weighs pounds. This is a bias you have in your brain that's working 24/7, 365. So if you've ever felt like thinking positive or being a positive person takes a lot of effort, you're not crazy, you're not doing it wrong. You have to actively fight against this negativity sway bias that wants to color the world in black and white and say that everything's going wrong for you. I remember when I was drumming on tour, I would have a great show, but dude, if I messed up one drum fill, it was all I thought about. The thing that went wrong, not the things that went right. Where am I going with this? The easiest way for you to brainwash yourself for the life and the success you want is to remove negative inputs in your life. This does two things. First, you stop feeding yourself with negativity. That feels pretty good. But the second is that you have to understand that your brain is always looking for what will go wrong. And so when you pair this with what's online, this is why the world can feel doom and gloom to you. This is why, and you know, social media companies and platforms have literally gotten called out on this. They know that negative posts, they get more engagement than positive posts. In news, if it bleeds, it leads. This is literally their business model, is like, let's just promote the negativity, right? And so here's what you need to do if you want to brainwash yourself for success. In the same way, if you were trying to be healthy and feel energetic, you would remove all the bad foods from your house, so you were less tempted to eat it, and it wasn't even an option for you. You should do that with your social media. I have gone so extreme on this to where I don't watch the news. Anyone who was negative or I would like judge or compare myself to, I just unfollowed. I unsubscribed from so many different channels that were kind of like doom and gloom and gossipy. Anything that comes up on your feed, like on TikTok or whatever, if you use that you don't like, make sure you hide it. Do this for 30 days. Okay? Like, I'm not telling you to do it forever. Just if you have resistance to this because you kind of like it, just try it out for 30 days. You can always go back, but I guarantee, I don't think you'll want to at the end of 30 days. This is two parts. That's how you clear the negativity out. But what do you feed yourself with? The positivity. This is the next way you can brainwash yourself for success. I have found extremely useful. Some people say keep a gratitude log. And that's great, but if you're anything like me and you've tried that in the past, I don't know, it can seem a little forced or fake or just like I'm going through the motions with it. And I know deep down, like, gratitude is so important, but it is hard to feel. So what I have found gives you the same benefits as focusing on gratitude, what you're grateful for. Another word for that is your wins. What are your wins? Your daily wins. These can be big, these can be small. Doesn't matter. There's a couple ways you can get in the habit of focusing on wins. The first is writing them down every single day. You can do this in your notes app or a physical journal. What are 3 wins from yesterday or today that you're focusing on? This can be as small as you got up and you made your bed and took a shower and you crushed it. Or on your way home, you were driving by the gym, you really didn't want to go, but you just said, I'll go for 10 minutes. You went in, you did a little workout and you left instead of just going straight home. That's a win. Of course, these can be as big as you want to get. Another way you can use wins, you have to collect evidence for this new version of yourself that you want to be. That is very important because there's this whole saying, fake it till you make it. Dress for the job you want, not the job you have, right? The reason that doesn't work for some people is because it feels fake and unnatural. Well, why does it feel fake and unnatural? Isn't everybody bad at something before they get good at it? Absolutely. I was terrible at YouTube videos. Sometimes I still feel terrible. I look back and I've improved immensely. And this is my profession now. That's weird to say, professional YouTuber. But I started and I was terrible and it felt really fake turning on the camera or writing a video or talking about subjects. But was it fake or was it just unnatural and I didn't do it enough? It's the same thing for you. Once you start acting more, even though it might feel fake for you, that is a win. And the more wins you collect under your belt, the more evidence you have that you are that person. The more videos I filmed, the more it reinforced the identity that I am a YouTuber. The more runs you go on, the more it's going to reinforce the identity that you are a runner. You're not just someone who got up a weekend warrior and went for one run. The more times you go on dates and you put yourself out there in uncomfortable conversations, it's going to reinforce the identity that you don't have social anxiety. You are good with people. Anytime you catch yourself feeling fake for something, flip it and say, what are the wins in this process of where I need to get to? I want to explain this in a bit of a different way, but I'll tie it back to what we're talking about here. There's a principle you might have heard of called the law of attraction. It says that like attracts like. What you think about, you bring about. And they will say that in order for you to succeed and brainwash yourself for success, you just got to think about what you want over and over and over and over again. And that's how you start attracting it to you. And that's true, but it's half true. It's half the battle. The other battle is not the law of attraction, the LOA, it's the law of Goya. You know what this stands for? Get off your ass. This literally, like, take some action, put yourself out there, take the necessary efforts to become that person, to get what you're trying to attract. It doesn't just happen where someone knocks on your door. Hey, here's your check for $1 million. I heard you were manifesting this. So you need both, the law of attraction, the law of Goya. This step here is to brainwash yourself for success. I love taking action. Okay, I just want you to say that. Like, taking action feels good. If you just tell yourself you love taking action, that is one of the best ways you can brainwash yourself into success. Because I promise you, no amount of success or life that you want is going to come to you without massive actions, or any action for that matter. It doesn't even have to be massive. Education on your thing quickly becomes entertainment if there's no action involved. Okay, I'll say that again. Education on what you think is useful to get the life you want will quickly become entertainment if you don't brainwash yourself into loving taking action. You don't have to have everything planned out for it to work. This is where you're going to get massive self-confidence, is from acting and proving to yourself that you love taking action. You just don't sit on the sidelines and overthink in your head just over and over of what could go wrong and solving imaginary problems that will never happen. All of these tips, man, if you can brainwash yourself into having one belief, it's that I love taking action. Taking action makes me come alive. I feel in flow when I'm in action. So let's recap. You know, to brainwash yourself for success, these are the steps. You need to have an anti-vision, a negative visualization of what's going to happen if nothing changes, and let that light a fire under your ass. You also need to remove all the bad inputs that are subconsciously programming yourself that you might not even be aware of. Curate your own news feed. Try a month with removing all negativity in your life. You can keep a win log and reinforce what's going good, what's working, so you get momentum and build on that. And perhaps the most powerful one is that if you want to really brainwash yourself for success, tell yourself you love taking action. You want our help redesigning the 2.0 you in 10 weeks? I'll link down below our program, Metamorphic, where you can learn more. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know your comments. Do you agree with this? What would you add to this? What is your best tip to get the life you want, and revisit that daily? I want to know in the comments below. Like this video if you haven't already, please. It really does help boost it in the algorithms. And I'll link up right here, identity shifting. Didn't want to throw it in this video, but this, man, if I was starting over to really like get the life I want, I would start redesigning the 2.0 you. That's how you do it, step-by-step guide. Thanks so much for being here. See you in the next one. Stop settling, start living. See ya.